Yes, my friends, this is me again, your friendly uncle, neighbor. Yeah, this is me, Charles, coming back to you again on this topic, solutions to the problems that we have in Kenya right now. The biggest problem, of course, is economic. Now, this is my third video. The first two videos, I brought up the topic of sports. You know, how sports, if it can be made a priority, we have a lot of talent, humongous, more than most countries, especially in Africa. We have athletes that are world-renowned. Every time we find a group of Kenyans getting involved in a sport somewhere, we hear that they're winning, that they're performing, no matter the sport. So because we know that we have this within us, my suggestion has been, let's monetize this thing. Let's make money. And how we do that is by separating the sports using the system that we have of counties, and so on and so forth. So if you've been following my videos, then you know that is something that we have discussed in the past. Now, originally I had said that I was going to use video 1, 2, and 3 to discuss that, but a lot of my fans have called and said, okay, enough of sports, now give us something else. I'm like, okay. I mean, we still have many years ahead of us. We'll still bring it up again. So I said there were 10 things that just off the top of my head came up, and I was like, why don't we discuss this as people who care about our country? What can we do? Number 1 was sports. Number 2, education. Number 3, culture. Number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll leave that for another day. So let's talk about education. What is education? How is education, a part of our lives? Why do we have education? Now, all mammals, at some point when they're born, they have to be taught by their sort of parents, how to do the basics, which is to eat and to protect yourself against, those things which can kill you. It can be anything from, threats from outside beings, natural causes, even weather like rain. That's why we need shelter. When a baby is born, the first thing they do is they wrap it up, keep it warm. Then after it's warm, you feed it. And so on and so on and so on. For about at least a year, sometimes 2 years, and then now when the baby starts talking and walking, and you're like, okay, now at least, there's that feedback. So education, the way we have it right now, is concentrated in schools. We have this system that we were given, actually we inherited, from our colonial masters, where when a child reaches about, 4, 5, 6 years, I mean, long time ago they used to say, if you can reach over your head and touch your ear, then you're ready to go to school. And babies have big heads and small bodies, so a lot of them were like, not yet, not yet. Okay. That's reached. Now you're ready to go to school. And then you go to school, nursery school, or, as some people say, kindergarten. Primary school, secondary, there used to be high school also, and then university. And then if you look at it, by the time this human has it gone from being a child to a teenager, adolescent, to an adult. You're looking at about 20 to 25 years old. And if you think about it, we humans, we generally live from 0 to 70 years in good strength and good health, all things withstanding. Then after that, now the body starts breaking down. You find somebody who's over 70, they're no longer as strong as they were. By the time they hit 80, they're bent over, walking with a walking stick. Very few reach 90, 100, you can count them. So basically 70 years. I think it's somewhere in Genesis, also in the Bible, where it says, 70, and then after that, bonus. So if you're spending 25 years of that 70, okay, in a system called formal education, 70 minus 25. So basically you have 45 years remaining. Now, of those 45 years, you remove another 10, because basically when you reach 60, if you haven't become financially stable, first of all, your health starts to deteriorate slightly. Nobody wants to hire you. You don't have that drive, that vigor, Health issues kick in. So minus another 10. That's 35. So basically you have 35 years only to make a change. Okay. I want us to tackle this issue of school. See, the way I look at it, if a child is leaving high school, secondary school in Kenya, and they're not independent or capable of taking care of themselves, then we have a problem. A big problem. Because that means we have invested 12 to 13 years into this human, and they're still dependent. They're not independent. That is a situation we have right now, where if you go to any town, any village, any family, you find someone has left high school. All the parents are like, oh, okay, let's take him to university, and there's no resources, so we're selling land, we're selling assets, animals, cows, goats, property to pay for this university. Okay, so let's do that. 4 years later, this child now is an adult between the ages of 22, maybe 24. And then they are walking around, no jobs, helpless, majority. Some say, oh, go back to school, get masters, get whatever. That's another 2 years. PhD, another 4 years. Yet, in reality, from an age of 16 years, an adult, a human, is now conscious and able to work, able to make themselves useful in society. At 18 years, they're officially adults. And that, by the way, is just a random number, because it hasn't been there long. I Googled the other day, 18, less than 100 is less than 100 years old. That's people recognizing 18 as an adult. It used to be 15, 16, you join the military, you go to work, you're independent, you're on your own. But here we are in a situation where we have been given this arbitrary number of 18, adulthood. But even then, this adult doesn't have the skills or doesn't have the knowledge or doesn't have the wherewithal. So they have to go struggle, some it's like Bahati Nasibu, trying this, trying that, learning as you go along. So my question to you is this: these 12 years, from the age of 6 to 18, what was it for? Whenever you put ingredients or plan together, the success is determined by the outcome. So if I'm going to, as a parent, assuming I'm a parent, I'm going to put my child through primary, say from standard 1, which is around 6 years old. Okay? So primary school, they finish around 12, 13. Secondary, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All those years, what are they learning that when they come out, they still need assistance. They still need help. Resources are being spent that have been accumulated over 10, 20 years. All of a sudden, this plot of land that was bringing in income, this cow that was bringing in income or milk, these assets that the parents have been putting together, you're selling them. And it's happening right now, especially in Uasin Gishu. You heard that story of former governor, current Senator Mandago. He ran around telling people, and it's on the video, it's not me saying, telling people, sell your land so that we send your kids to Finland, Australia, all these other places. People are running around selling. And now there's a scandal. Okay, I don't know the details, but still, where there's smoke, there's fire. So the way I look at it is this. Hold on a minute. Why can't we teach these children from the time they are able to understand 1 + 1, 2 + 2, they can communicate. Give them the skills so by the time they are 16 years old, they don't need anything from the parents. They can go into the market and compete. What do I mean? In my view, I have actually seen situations whereby children are taught differently than the way we teach them in Kenya. If you Google right now in the US, just I'm giving you an example, not necessarily that, because don't think Americans, by the way, are angels. But I was looking on the internet the other day. There's something called homeschooling. Means the parents don't send the child to school, you teach the child at home. This thing became an issue because public education started to produce, graduates of school who were incapable of functioning in society as expected. So some adults were like, what's the point of sending this child to school? The child comes out at 18, still needs help, still needs this, still needs that. And this is a grown person. Same thing that I'm seeing right now, in Kenya, especially, Uasin Gishu, Nandi County, where I come from. You find 18, 19, 20-year-olds hanging around centers. They have no clue. What do we do? Chasing jobs that don't exist. And that's because this education system, nobody has sat down and said, okay, why are we sending children to school? You're sending them to school to get jobs. Okay, where are these jobs? Who creates jobs? Where do the jobs come from? Kenya now, everybody has been, indoctrinated into this idea of looking for jobs. Nobody's saying, okay, why aren't we having people coming out at the age of 16 who are ready to create industries, create opportunities? Earn money, figure out how to make a shilling in ways other than working for 30 days and waiting for a salary or mushahara later. I've given you my labor, I've given you my sweat. After 30 days, give me what is mine. But if you think about it, this guy who's giving you is giving you maybe 5, 10, 15% of the effort that he has benefited from you. He's giving you a portion. Why are we not teaching our children, especially from the age of 13, 14, what is money? How does money work? How is money created? How is money invested? How is money saved? How can 1 shilling become 2, become 4, become 1 million, become 2 million? Why are we not having our education system producing high school graduates or even university graduates? Let's just discuss high school first. High school graduates who, the minute they finish high school, they're out into the community, they are looking around, ready to do something, not waiting, now I need a degree. Degree for what? These 12 years wasted. After 12 years, you still need another 4 years degree? No. Going to college should be specialized. Things like engineering, maybe medicine, to be a doctor or to be a teacher. Things where you have direct correlation between what it is you're studying and what it is you're going to apply in order to, earn from that skill. But any other skill other than that is a luxury. So in my mind, we have a problem because the other day they came up with this CBC. So, okay, first of all, we used to have, I don't know what system before the 60s, 70s. But I remember, around the 80s, they came up with this 844. Before the 844, you used to have the 7 years primary, 4 years secondary, and 2 years high school, 13 years. And then after that, you go to campus. Now they said 844, which means 8 years primary, 4 years secondary. They got rid of high school. Then you go to university, allegedly for 4 years. But it depends, whatever course you're doing, because that's just an arbitrary number. Because some university degrees, some you can do in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, depending on what you're studying. So let's just call it the 7, 4, 2, and the 8, 4. 8, 4 is 12, 7, 4, 2 is 13. So you're looking at about 12 to 13 years of education. But nowadays, 3/4 of the things you're being taught, geography, history, CRE, even mathematics to some extent, physics, these things you can learn on the phone. If you have a phone, you have internet, you have bundles, you have YouTube, or whichever other system that you want to use to research. All these things are there. So why are we still teaching them in school? Give people assignments. Go, I want you to learn this, come back. Here's bundles. If there's a challenge somewhere, come ask questions. Classroom should be set aside for clarification, and question time. But in life, especially as an adult, we all know that we only need 2 topics or 2 subjects that are the most important in order for you to succeed as an adult. two. Number one is money. Money. And everything surrounding money. What is money? How is money made? How is money, how does it help you? All those other things. So that one, number one. And number two is relationships. How to mingle, how to live with other people. How to get married so that you don't have divorces all the time like they have in the first world, US, UK, all these other weird countries. 55, 56, 60% of marriages ending up in divorce. So why get married in the first place? Why? We don't need that in Kenya. Don't go to a church and tell God, till death do us part, and then after 3 years, you're channeling. But nobody has died. Who died? Why are you filing for divorce? You just said, till death, you swore with the Bible in church, or whichever religion you follow. Till death. Then the minute you leave the church, that death part is forgotten. And we'll discuss that part in culture. Okay, that's episode 6 and 7. Okay, or 5 and 6. So 3 and 4 education. So I want us to ask ourselves these questions. Can we just throw out the whole syllabus? Throw it out and rethink what it is we want to teach our children. Because when we think about that and concentrate on the fact that you want this child to come out of 10 to 12 years of learning and become a productive member of society, it will solve all these issues of joblessness, economic issues. People out there, going into crime, parents becoming broke, solvent, selling land, selling assets that they have been struggling to use, to gather, so they can feed themselves and feed their children. Nobody should be selling anything. This child, 16, 18, tosha. Contribute to society. How do they do that if they're not being taught? These exams that they're doing, does this exam that you're struggling to do, this KCSE or whatever exams they have in high school these days, are they actually preparing this child to fit into society at the age of 18, or just to get pass marks so that maybe they can spend another 4 years in a college? And even then, after that, they still don't know how to fit in. Unemployment is how much now in Kenya? 30, 40%? Really? Why? Because we have these intelligent beings, these Kenyans, 55 million Kenyans right now, who have no clue. No clue. By the time you're, as a man, 16, and as a woman, 18, you should not need your parents anymore. You should be out of that house, starting your life. But how are you going to do that when you don't have the tools? You've not been taught. Your parents have sacrificed, paid school fees for you for 12 years. You come out, okay, Dad, Mom, I still need to go to campus. Really? Okay, sawa. You graduate, okay, I have a degree. Son, nitafutie kazi. Find me a job. What if this degree was teaching you what? You come out, okay, I have a degree, first class honors, then now you still have to tarmac again? No. That is old thinking. Those jobs are not there anymore. They are not gone. Shoop. Yeah? A lot of those jobs were analog jobs. They don't exist. Everything is digital now. We should focus on this child coming out at the age of 18, working from remote location. From one, okay. Primary school is important because they have to learn the basics, how to read, how to count, basic things, mathematics. But from the time a child is around 12, 13 years old, concentrate on making sure that by the time they're 18, they're independent. And don't ask me so where else in the world is this being done? No. You see, that's where you go wrong. If you're busy trying to compare yourself with other people, other countries, it's like you living in your house and always comparing yourself with your neighbor. Why is my neighbor is wearing a suit? Even me, I need to go buy a suit. My neighbor just bought a Prado. Even me, I need to go. Without asking yourself, hold on, can I afford it? Is what he's doing what I'm doing? Live your own life. So even us as Kenyans say, you know what? Okay, hold on a minute. We want our children at the age of 18, they can fit in any market and thrive. Because our Kenyans are intelligent. You know how many of our youth, they go to other countries and they shine. Whether it's acting, whether it's sports, whether it's who knows what. So that means that fire is in us. But why is it that you have to leave Kenya in order to perform? Why can't you perform right here in Kenya? And it starts with education. We should be having zero unemployment because every child that comes out of high school will only look for a job as a second or third option because whatever it is that they tried to do didn't work out. So, okay, fine. Mejaribu biashara kidogo mekata. Wacha nitafute kazi. Basically meaning that somebody in your orbit created something, now you're going to work for him. But we can't be having 1 million graduates, all of them coming out with this concept of, okay, now I've studied geography, history, mathematics, physics, chemistry. Okay, now I'm supposed to look for a job. And if you look at it, 3/4 of jobs involve selling something. Either selling a good, selling a service. Selling a good means a product that either you create or somebody else has created, and your job is to find a market for this product. A service, making yourself useful. Using your energy, using whatever skills you have with your hands, your brain. Why are we not teaching our children that? Teach them how to make money from day one. When they graduate, they are ready to go. By the time they're hitting 20, 25, they're an asset to you. They're no longer, having all these issues that I find every time, I'm in the neighborhood. I'm just find young people coming to me. Hey, Charlie, nisaidie tafutie kazi. Sina do. You find people, they have beards, grown, asking for lunch money. It doesn't have. And it's okay, because to me it's not his fault. He was never taught at a young age. I mean, even lions, when they're young, the lioness teaches them how to hunt. Leopards, all these animals, teach them how to hunt from a young age. So by the time the lion or the male comes in and says, this kijana looking, he's started to grow a mane, mandevu ndio hiyo, you're on your own, toka. They can go and survive. So even us as humans, we should be looking at this child. Okay, by the time this child is 18, even 16, they should be able to go out there and hunt. They should be able to go there and be productive citizens. Not wait until they finish, get a degree. That should come later. You can always go back to campus. Even me right now, I can go back to campus tomorrow and get a degree. But will it help me? Go find your skill. Go hone your whatever trade it is. At that point now, once you know exactly, okay, this is my strength, this is my weaknesses, then you go to your campus anytime and now learn more skills to improve yourself. Not go because that's the only way that you know. So education, to me, we have to stop and ask ourselves, are we doing the right thing for our people? Thank you. And we'll have another discussion next week. But this is food for thought. Think about it. Think outside the box. And ask yourself, based on the results that you're seeing, especially a lot of you parents out there, you want to send your children to Australia, you want to send your children anywhere, God knows where. Ask yourself, but this child is no longer a child, it's an adult. Where did I go wrong? Why is this child still hanging around? It's the knowledge. You taught him the wrong things. They received the wrong knowledge from school. They wasted all those years. We'll meet again next week. God bless you and have a wonderful day.